AITA, because I told my sister that any and all business she had with my husband is my business. So it was my birthday a few days ago, and holy hell did it end terribly. I don't care about my birthday, but my kids do. So I let my husband do the bare minimum for me, but more for my kids to be able to sing and eat cake. Anyway, I am the middle of three, older sister, younger brother, and per my request, only my mom, my siblings, and their significant others and their kids were invited for a quick little dinner party type thing to celebrate another lap around the sun by me. Well, after dinner, everyone scattered through the house and the yard just hanging out, normal gathering stuff. Then out of nowhere, my sister comes to me asking me where my husband was. I told her that I had no idea, probably in the garage where he tends to be a lot of the time messing with his tools. Since her husband was unable to join for dinner because he worked late, my husband was more doing his own thing during the festivities. Our husbands get along well, so when we all get together like this, they just hang out together. She told me she already checked there and he wasn't there, so I said then, IDK, and went back to talking with my bro. She comes back shortly after and again asks me for my husband. I still didn't know. I had been inside in the same spot with my brother the whole time. When she asked me a third time, I told her that I still hadn't seen him and asked her what she needed him for. She straight up tells me that it was none of my business. Like what? I felt so disrespected. All I said was that it sure as hell was my business why she needed him because he is my husband, and that she is only connected to him through me. I did have a bit of an attitude when I said it, not gonna lie, but her reaction threw me off. She basically accused me of accusing her of wanting my husband. That was not where my brain was at all. And it turned into an argument and I got called a bitch a few times. We didn't yell at one another, but there was attitude and a few F-bombs from my part. I tend to have a sailor's mouth, even when I am not angry. My mom was nearby and said that my reaction was uncalled for. My brother said that her saying it wasn't my business wasn't that big of a deal. That maybe she wanted to have him help her surprise me or something since it was my birthday. He didn't think I overreacted, but that the entire argument was pointless. My sister gathered her kids and took off angry at me. Was I the asshole? Considering she was looking for him for a while and asked me about him multiple times, I didn't think I overstepped in asking what she needed him for. Maybe I could have helped her. Little backstory. My sister tends to bug my husband for favors like checking her car. He is a hobby mechanic, helping carry heavy stuff from one place to another, even if her husband is present. Or if we are at my mom's house and she shows up with a lot of stuff, she will ask my husband for help, etc. My husband is very active and is used to making himself useful no matter the situation. All of his brothers are like this. He also doesn't like being rude, so he never says no. Maybe this played a part in my being bothered. Her husband is not like my husband, and I don't feel the need to ask him for any favors the way my sister always asks my husband, because I have my own husband. And even if I was to ever ask her husband for anything, and she would ask me what about, I would obviously tell her. He is her husband. Oh wow, I did not think this post would have so much traction. I haven't talked to my siblings or mom since it happened. For starters, you guys are funny. My husband wasn't in hiding or avoiding anyone, LOL. I think it is important to note that we live in a house with a pretty big yard, like a ranch, but without the animals. My sister probably just didn't go far enough to find him. I did ask him after it all went down where he was. He came in confused after my sis took her kids to ask why they left. Turns out he was all over the place throughout the festivities. He was playing with the kids for one bit, then was at the gate with the neighbor whom he shared a beer with since they're cool. With my dad for another bit, was indeed in the garage yet another bit, etc. I told her to go look there because that's where he usually is when he goes missing. When my brother-in-law is around, they're easy to find because they tend to kick it in one spot, drinking and whatnot. Like I said in my post, my husband is always in motion. He chills when someone is there to chill with him. If not, he is never in the same spot. Make sense? Also, people seem to think he just set up the gathering and took off, which, wrong. He did celebrate with me and interacted with everyone throughout and whatnot. We were just not together at every single moment. People also said I seemed controlling. I am not my husband's keeper, as many stated, and I do trust him. I don't keep tabs on him, which is why wherever he was, I was unaware. Nor did I care because I was under the impression he was just hanging out somewhere else. And I only asked her why she needed him because of her persistence, and to see if maybe she needed something I could help with instead. I have talked to him about continuously helping her in the past, and have told him that she has her own husband. She could ask him. To which he always responds, "I know, but I'm right there. I don't mind." My brother-in-law is kinda lazy, and my husband sees it more as a favor to his buddy than to my sister. He isn't like that with just her. For the record, he's like that with everyone. I do find it annoying sometimes, but his brothers and his mom are the very same. I get more annoyed at my sister because I do agree that she takes advantage of his helpful nature. But so does my mom. My dad is fragile, can't lift heavy things, so same thing. My husband sees it as doing it for my dad. Now, as some people mentioned, if it would have been a playful none of your business, I would have reacted differently, because my mind did go to a possible surprise too, like so many of you. But she had a tone when she said it, and it seemed less wait and see, yay, and more of a mind your business. And yes, I was annoyed. I am also the type of person that, depending on the way things are said to me, is how I will react. If it was something she felt she didn't want me to know, like something about her own husband, that's all she had to say, and I would have understood. About my family siding with my sis, that is just how it is. I tend to be more monotone when I am mad, but I can be harsh. Like I said, I curse a lot. My sister is more sensitive and cries easily. My brother didn't side with anyone, I don't think. He just didn't think it was that big of a deal to lead to a whole argument. And oh my gosh, I really hope everyone is wrong about her actually wanting my husband. Jealous that her husband isn't more like my husband? Maybe. And hopefully, this is why she said that. I choose to believe it is the latter, for my own sanity. Thanks to this post, I had to ask him if she has ever been weird with him or made him feel uncomfortable, and he said no. And I had to tell him what she said. His conclusion is what I hope is true, and more jealousy than a crush. About his phone, him and my brother-in-law have each other's numbers, but not him and my sister. I will not go through his phone, I don't need to. If he is driving and he gets a text, he will have me grab his phone to see who is messaging him. If he has to respond right away, he will have me do it. He doesn't even have a password on his phone. That's how secretive he is. My goodness. I'll update this as needed. Thank you all for your replies.